Lozo TV, Fat Place Beat. I'm back with another freaking reaction video, baby. And today, you guys, coming at y'all with a reaction to Was the Murder of King Von Set Up, y'all. So this is a crazy little title. I was like, I might as well react to this. Let's get into the mess because, you know what I'm saying, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on, but we finna get into this. So before we get into this video, make sure you do me a big favor, like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell if you're new to the channel, because Love Crew is the best crew of our crews, and we finna get straight into it.
How is it that when a celebrity gets shot in front of his armed security, the security doesn't fire back? Why did King Von at the last minute decide to go to the lounge he would eventually be killed at when it wasn't part of the original plan? Why was the man he attacked seemingly caught off guard despite walking right past King Von's entourage? And did NBA Youngboy really tell Von that when he killed him, he would show the world his body?
Hey, ask about YB.
You talking about the voice message that YB sent?
Yeah.
The man said, "When I kill you, I'm gonna show the world your body. When I kill you, I'm gonna show the world." I said, "Man, who was that?" I said, "Man, that's a nigga Youngboy."
Now, for the past 5 years, the question of what happened to King Von
He said
seemed
that.
to be cut and dry. Rappers die all the time.
Did YB really say that, y'all? I'm not here for all the he say, she say either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, things can be true, but also things can be misconstrued. So I don't know about that part.
This event happened to be caught on camera, and it seemed pretty clear. He punched a man in a stand your ground state, and he lost his life for it. Von had made a statement, as well as people in his entourage, that he wasn't cool with NBA Youngboy or any of his associates. So how did Von and Youngboy's associate end up at the same hookah lounge on the same night at the same time? One group had just come from a nightclub, and the other group had just come from a video shoot. Could it have really been a coincidence that they crossed paths? I'm sure, as many of you have seen recently, Vonnie, a very strange associate of the whole OTF camp, his father has recently come out with several allegations, all after a leaked phone call where Vonnie was seemingly admitting that he was going to take a plea deal and make sure that he got less time than Lil Durk and the other guys on the Lil Pad murder from Beverly Hills. Now, Vonnie's father has made some very heinous accusations, but the fact that it comes from his own father, I can't just dismiss it as all lies, especially since he himself explains that the main factor behind him airing out all of this business is money, which, although petty, is very believable. Vonnie, a man from Detroit, whose only connection with these gang members out of Chicago is that his father was close friends with King Von's father. But Von's father has been dead since 2005, nearly 20 years before Von died. But for some reason, Vonnie had weaseled his way in between two of the biggest artists coming into 2020. He's seen in several videos carrying the money and making big purchases for both Lil Durk and King Von, a man who's not even from Chicago. And in the immediate aftermath of Von's death, several allegations came out that people close to him were stealing from him, such as security footage showing men seemingly running from his home carrying items that they didn't come in with, and then there was talk of money missing out of the safety deposit boxes. And Vonnie's father claims that at least the safety deposit box was his son's doing. Now, Vonnie's father claims that Lil Tim, the man who was credited with shooting King Von after he attacked Quando Rondo, was paid months before the incident even took place. But is he telling the truth? He claims that his son is the reason for the entire hookah lounge incident where Von attacked Quando Rondo and ended up getting shot. Just based on how the people around Von spoke of him, it appears that Von was a very predictable guy. Even before he was a superstar in Chicago, it was pretty much known that if he said he was going to do something to you when he caught you, that's exactly what was going to happen. And he made it clear, as well as an associate of his, Lil Reese, that when he caught Quando Rondo, something was going to happen. The plan after they left the first club was for everybody to go back to the Airbnb they had in Atlanta. But of course, that's not what happened. Vonnie's father is somehow insinuating that Vonnie is the reason that Von rerouted his caravan to the
Okay, so I did hear something like that. Like, that wasn't Von's, like, idea to even go there in the first place. Oh shit, my brain. That wasn't even Von's idea to go there in the first place. And when I heard of that, I was like, dang, like, that shit shouldn't have even happened then, like, because that wasn't even his first, like, that wasn't even his idea to go. Like, I heard, like, I guess it was like a last minute thing or something. So that was crazy to hear.
So just looking at it from the perspective of somebody that was trying to set up a murder. Now, knowing that Georgia is a stand your ground state and Von being a hothead, having him pull up to the location of someone that he says he's going to attack when he sees them seems like the perfect bait to get him shot. But what would have been the reason for anyone wanting Von dead? The first person that was blamed with any kind of conspiracy for this was Lil Durk, who at the time was not legally allowed to be around King Von due to a case that they had involving an attempted murder and a robbery. And mysteriously, Lil Durk seemed to go live at the same time that King Von was getting shot. Now, I've seen at least one guy, King AK-47, say that this looked like something that was going to establish an alibi. Now, the question is, why did Lil Durk have Vonnie around him? For him to get such a prominent position, despite not knowing any of them, it seems like some agreement would have had to be made, especially with Lil Durk, since he was seen carrying money for Lil Durk, and he is the alleged money man on the murder for hire case that Durk is facing right now. So, the events of the Monaco Hookah Lounge. I was completely unaware that Von even had armed security there because the only 3 people that were reported to have fired back were Louis, Slutty, and BJ.
So Von had armed security there? What the heck?
They only offered me $5,000. $5 grand?
What the heck?
Paxton.
I did not know that.
Louis and Slutty ended up being shot by undercover cops who were sitting at the scene watching the entire thing, which is also very suspicious. And one of Von's associates can even be heard telling Von's security, "Kill him," as if he was wondering why the security guard had done nothing. And Vonnie, who again is not even from Chicago, couldn't have had a close bond with any of them. As out of everything his father said, that is the most likely, that he was on
So
the
basically what he's saying is Vonnie most likely was the one that set this whole thing up, which is crazy as fuck. Cause y'all do know, like, some people set stuff up for money, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people just do certain shit for the money. Like, there's a lot of setups being done that way, but it's just crazy as fuck. Like, people close to you can slime you out. Not saying that this is true or nothing like that, but if this is true, that's just sad. Like, people that's supposed to be close to you can slime you out for a bag. Cause I'm pretty sure, like, some money came after that if he did set them up. That's crazy as fuck.
And being the money man, he would probably know how easy it would be for him to steal money out of King Von's security deposit boxes, as he had probably made several trips to the bank with King Von depositing his money. And regardless of if you believe that King Von was some type of serial killer or not, it's more than likely that he would have been serving 25 to life for something had he still been alive today. And everyone around him knew this. The FBI said he was their lead suspect in a murder from 2014. And as I said, one of Lil Durk's lawyers said on the Atlanta News that he would be the one charged in the Atlanta case had he still been alive, not Lil Durk. So somebody that wasn't his friend in the first place, and especially someone that was heartless, would have no problem getting him out the way for a quick come-up. And the allegation...
That do make sense, bro. That do make sense. That's fucked up. Dang. They basically was like... So basically they like, oh, well, his life over with in the future anyway, so we might as well just hit this lick and make it come up. Like, that's crazy as hell, bro. I honestly don't think... Like, they be saying YB had something to do with it. I honestly don't think... Like, I think it was probably... Like, looking back on it now, I think it was like the people close to him or the people he kept around him versus like the people that they thought was his ops for real, like YB and them, you know. I really don't think they was like, they really have no purpose of being in on it. YB already a millionaire. Like, what would he gain out of sacrificing King? I don't know. It don't go, like, even though they did have beef, I don't think it was YB's hits, if that makes sense. I think it was people that was around him.
When he was killed, they were going to show the world his body. Just can't be a coincidence. Only certain people are allowed in a room to take a picture like that. So for someone to jeopardize their job and likely freedom, there had to be some type of money involved. Nobody just did this for fun. Now, I know you guys thought that we were already talking about conspiracy theories, but we still haven't got into the actual conspiracy theory pushed by Vonnie's father. Now, in the interviews he did with both Trenches News and DJ Academics, Vonnie's father said 2 things that honestly it's hard to know if he's saying this from what he actually witnessed or if he's just been reading and watching conspiracy theories and he might think he's connecting the dots himself. But he says that in his talks with King Von, he says that King Von told him that he knew he only had 3 or 4 years to do his music, and he did not fully elaborate on that. But he says that King Von had some type of meeting, and after this meeting, King Von kind of told him that he knew that he had a limited amount of time. And not only did he connect the music industry with Israel, but he also connected NBA YoungBoy's involvement with YoungBoy's subsequent pardon that he received from Donald Trump. Now listen, I am always open to a conspiracy theory, and I'm definitely always open to hear a testimony from somebody who was around a certain situation. But if I'm being honest, I don't see much of a connection between King Von and NBA YoungBoy's pardon. Do I think it was strange that YB was pardoned by the President of the United States, who's likely never even heard of him? Yes, I think that was very strange, and I do think there was some type of agenda behind that pardon. And like I said, the autopsy picture is a very strange thing to come out. Now, I've seen a gang member die and one of his ops with a connection at the hospital have an autopsy picture come out. But that doesn't mean it's something that happens often, and that definitely doesn't mean that it's something that somebody can easily come by. Because you have to be a certain staff member to even get in a room like that. So what would make Wavani's father saying true? Well, I know he's not getting paid much to go on these interviews and say the things that he's saying. When he speaks, he genuinely sounds like he's speaking out of remorse and that he's had to sit by and watch something. Because he and Von's father were close friends, which is why many people thought that Vonnie was King Von's cousin, but they are in fact not related. So I'm gonna stand by that there has to be some truth in what Vonnie's father is saying. And I heard the phone call where Vonnie was saying that he wants to get less time than Lil Durk, which is a guy that let him handle millions of dollars. So at the very least, we can prove that Vonnie is a slimy character and that accusing him of setting up anybody would not be out of the ordinary for him.
That's sad.
So in the end, it's clear that King Von didn't just die because he attacked someone in a stand your ground state. A witness on the scene who doesn't have any social media presence, just some random guy that was caught on a police body cam, even said that it looked like a setup.
We know for just pulled up. Jumping out the car, shit. He was set up.
And although King Von could have avoided this entire situation himself and not been a hothead, I do believe that somewhere, somebody was pulling strings to make sure things went exactly how they went.
That's so sad.
But that's all I got for today, man. And I'll see you next time.
People say it's fate, blase, oh, that was gonna happen to him eventually. He lived that life, da. But I feel like things can be set up too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if he was still here, I feel like if it was fate for him to get his karma from this, I feel like he was just gonna get like probably life in jail or probably locked up. Like he said, like they already was finna charge him for different. I feel like that was gonna be his fate if he was still alive and he didn't get set up that night. I feel like his fate would have been like him doing time in jail and shit, and like, you know, because he was getting charged and stuff like that, or something else. But I feel like this was a setup. Like, I feel like they really kind of just set this man up because of like how everything was planned out that night, bro. And I still feel that way. I don't care. Y'all can say, oh, it's fate, he was gonna die anyway. But like I said, I feel like me personally, his fate was him getting locked up and charged in the future and stuff like that. If he was still here, he probably would have like been in jail behind bars and stuff like that during time, but he wouldn't have been like dead, you know, if they never would have set that shit up. But I honestly feel like watching this and stuff, and then watching back then, like watching videos back then and stuff, and just like watching the whole video overall, it was just weird. Like, it's like some people can see through it and then some people just can't. But that's just how the world is. Like, some people can see through bullshit and some people just look at stuff and they just go and run with it, or they'll see something, they'll just go and run with it. But some shit really do be deeper than things. But you know, some people will just never understand. Some people just, oh, blase, this what happens, oh well. Like, you just gotta have awareness. Some people don't have awareness, and that's okay. Everybody's made and born different, but you just gotta like, you just gotta know. You gotta be a person that just knows for real. But that's my take on it, y'all. I want to hear y'all opinions. Everybody got different opinions. I don't care what y'all think, but just comment down below. If you don't believe you got set up, oh well. If you do believe you got set up, oh well. It's your opinion. Y'all take it, run with it. Let me know down in the comments how y'all felt, and I'll see y'all next video. Peace.